In this video, we're going to be talking about main ideas. I'm Justin Rempel. What are main ideas? This is something we come across quite a bit in writing, in researching, and in reading. And so in this video, we're going to take a look at what they are, how to identify them, and what purpose they really serve. So let's start with definitions. What is a main idea? This might go by a few different names. You might hear it called a key point or a core concept. Really, it refers to something important in the text. We're talking about the things that are essential, not extra, not add-ons, not details, main ideas. Why do we need to find main ideas? The whole point of being able to identify main ideas is for this acronym, so we can soar with efficiency. All of these points have to do with efficiency, which means that we can work quickly and properly and well. We can quickly identify what is important in a text and what is not, and we can sort those things out. That helps us in a number of ways. It helps us with summary. The S in SOAR is for summary. We can communicate a short version of a text to someone else, containing only the most important points. That means we stay focused, we do not go off on tangents. So bad summaries of texts or stories are summaries that ramble on way too long, that include non-important details, or that say too little, that just don't include enough. We also need to find main ideas to help us with organization. The O in SOAR is for organization. Finding main ideas helps us to keep track of what is going on as a reader. It helps us to keep track of the flow and order of things. Another reason we need to find main ideas is awareness. The A in SOAR is for awareness. We can understand and identify themes. We can tell clearly what the writer is telling us and the impact it has on our minds. So we can understand not just the meaning of the text, but what it's doing to us, how it's changing and affecting us along the way. And lastly, the R in SOAR is for research. Being able to find main ideas is very helpful when we're researching information because it means we can find others' key ideas and use them to shape our own writing. And remember, all of these things, summary, organization, awareness, and research, we can do with efficiency, with practice as we get better and better at identifying what the main ideas in a text are. So we're going to talk about both fiction and nonfiction forms of writing. Fiction is made up or invented forms of writing. Usually we're talking about story. And it's helpful to be able to identify main ideas when we're reading stories. Often when we talk about main ideas in stories, we're talking about plot points. That's a significant event in the story. Usually it involves a change of some kind. A plot point will change the trajectory or direction that the story is changing. So if you want to be able to identify key plot points in stories, we need to pay attention to a few different things. Definitely keep an eye out for titles, not just the title of the story, but also titles of chapters or sections in a story. Titles are little mini summaries, and they give us clues and hints as to what is going to happen in that section. Also pay attention to characters, major life events that happen to characters, such as births, deaths, beginnings or endings of relationships, accidents, moves that the character may make. Pay attention to changes in setting. When we move from one place to another or from one time period to another, these are important plot points. Also pay attention to the point of view. Anytime the perspective changes or shifts, that's significant. Also in fiction, when we're talking about main ideas, we might be talking about themes. Themes are really broad overall messages that we receive from a story. And a story may have more than one theme. A theme involves an abstract and universal topic. That means it's really big picture. It applies to everyone, all of humanity, probably all of time. So for example, things like love is a topic, peace is a topic, war, life, death, these really big universal things. The theme is more than just that topic, though. The theme is saying something about that topic. So it's a value judgment that the author is making. Love is a wonderful thing, or if they're very bitter, love is pointless and will always end in hurt. It might be some kind of philosophical statement. Here's some examples. Hope is found in community. That might be a message that's built into a story. Life is meaningless, and it's just a series of hardships. That might be a theme that's built into a very bitter story. So for themes, pay attention to the beginning and ending of the story and what changes along the way. Pay attention to the content for sure, the setting of a story, the plot points. If you're reading a story about World War II, it's going to have some themes about war in it for sure. Pay attention to character relationships, how those change along the way. Pay attention to character growth and development and changing worldviews that characters have. Really listen to the author's voice, the kind of tone they have, the language they use, the style they write with, and the narration. Sometimes you have passages, say if you're reading it with a third person omniscient point of view, sometimes you have these passages where it's just the author talking, and they'll be explicitly telling you what they think about the world or what they think about peace. And those themes will be very evident. Sometimes those themes are more implied in the story based on things that happen, events, character changes, that kind of thing. When we're dealing with nonfiction, these are informative sources. Main ideas are a little bit different. Main ideas in nonfiction are just key pieces of information that the writer is trying to convey to the reader. When you're reading nonfiction, or when you're writing it, it should always contain a topic, that's the main subject that you're writing about, and a thesis. So that's the main message about the topic. So you might be writing about the beaver as your topic, but your thesis might be that the beaver plays a key role in its local ecosystem. It's very important to the surrounding environment. Okay, that's a thesis. That's a message about your topic. And on top of the topic and the thesis, there should be several supporting points to defend or prove the thesis. You need to provide examples of the role that the beaver plays, why it's important. So when you're looking for main ideas in nonfiction, you want to try to find not just the thesis, but you want to find the supporting points as well. Pay attention to titles in nonfiction, so titles of articles, chapters, sections, keywords, which are often bolded or italicized, and their definitions. Those might be main ideas. Pay attention to lists, which are usually great places that are organized series of main ideas. They might be numbered. Pay attention to charts, diagrams, and images. These are all clues as to what the main ideas or main points are in nonfiction writing. And pay attention to the order of information. What comes first, what comes second. Pay attention to first and last sentences and paragraphs, because a paragraph is usually organized around some kind of key idea.